welcome back to Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. I am your host, Sherry Ricard. I'm an author, speaker, business leader, and adversity recovery expert, bringing you inspiring guests, business, and lifestyle tips to help you create a beautiful life, and always committed to keeping it real. Now let's dive in.
The loss of a loved one is a nearly universal emotional crisis. Unprocessed grief and painful feelings can be buried, leaving you to feel numb. But there is hope. Certified grief counselor, RN, and author Sherry Ricard shares her story of how to cope in her first book, Wake Up Call, A Mother's Grief Journey, after the loss of her 17-year-old son. This book, along with Sherry's other books, are available on Amazon as well as on sherryricard.com.
Hello, my beauties. It's Sherry. Welcome back for another episode of Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio Show. As always, it's great to be here with you today. Before we get started, I'd like to give a little shout out to Wakili Fan that left us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcast. They said, great show, a must listen for anyone needing inspiration. Guys, I love it when you leave me a rating and review. It helps so much get the show out to so many people that need inspiration, encouragement. They need business ideas. We talk to CEOs, business leaders, celebrities, all walks of life, women that are so strong, some that have been through so much adversity that have come out on the other side of success. So if you've liked any episodes of Real Girl Talk, I want to thank you in advance for going back and taking just a couple of seconds to leave us a 5-star rating and review. So it's time to introduce my incredible guest, Laine B. Waller. She is the CEO and founder of Vraiment Financial, federal certified women-owned small business specializing in local, state, and federal government contracts. She is a tax reduction strategist for real estate investors, a financial coach, and speaker. Her company assists real estate investors in saving up to 70% per year in their tax bill legally with tax and accounting strategies in the tax code while assessing the financial health within their company. Laine has helped over 200 women restore their finances as well as helped business owners and entrepreneurs get their books and expenses in order and saved them thousands of dollars in taxes. And we are going to pick her brain. Welcome to the show, Laine.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tax is a taboo word, girl.
Yes, nobody likes it.
And it is tax season, but we have so much going on right now in this pandemic that there are small business loans. People are getting stimulus checks. I wished I qualified.
Yes, exactly.
It's the only time I wish that I made less money.
You're
just
right
to get
about
that
that
extra check. But it is tax season, and that has been extended into July 15th. So we're going to talk about saving money. And then I also want to hear about your story, because one thing that I love about Laine and all of the women that I interview is that we all have been through some type of adversity or some type of struggle that we've had to overcome and come out on the other side. And in turn, we do like to share our story because it helps other women that go through the same type of tragedies. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that too. But I want to go into the tax world right now because this is serious business. There is an opportunity for small business owners to take advantage, and I hate to use that word, take advantage of a pandemic, but to take advantage of this pandemic right now, because there is government money out there that we can get. And Laine's going to kind of help us. If you are a small business owner and you want to know what to do next, Laine's going to kind of walk us through those steps. So where would we begin with that, Laine?
The first thing you will begin with is looking on the SBA website. So that's the first step. And the reason why is the SBA is offering a PPP loan. And what that stands for is the Paycheck Protection Program. And that's a loan that if you are a business owner or you have a company and you have payroll or you have staff or employees, this is something that you need to take advantage of. This loan can be forgiven at the end of the year if you follow the steps. But right now you need to contact your local branch or your bank and find out the qualifications, what's needed from you. Most likely you would need some sort of evidence that you have payroll, that you have your bookkeeping together, speak to your accountant if you don't have an accountant, if you have an accounting software like QuickBooks, and you have your payroll and you have all of your financial statements together. Those are the things that the bank is going to need, and you want to be able to apply as soon as possible. The first time that the PPP loan application was out, they shut the application down within less than a week because they ran out of funds. A lot of people were upset about that because a lot of older, bigger corporations that were making money were applying for these loans, and they were getting these loans granted to them. A lot of them did return the money, and then the Congress had to increase the budget for it. So right now they increased it by $385 billion, but that money is going to run out really, really quick. So for anyone that is in terrible states right now when it comes to their payroll, not being able to pay their employees, or their business is not going how they expected it to, you need to contact the SBA or you need to contact your local branch and apply for the PPP loan. If that's something that you feel like you cannot apply for right now, because it is based on credit, I would suggest you looking at your local state representatives and looking at some grants that they have out right now. There's so many different companies and corporations that are giving out small business grants to people that are affected by COVID-19. And they don't ask for much, but you need to at least apply to everything. Everything that's free out here right now that you qualify for, you need to definitely do it. There's money on the table. We just don't know where to look.
Well, let me ask you this. When you talk about the grants, how would someone go about finding out? You said that would be something state or locally, or are there
Yes.
federal grants as well?
There are some federal grants, but there isn't much that's being out here right now. The most grants is through your state. So your state is doing everything that they can to make sure that your business is still continuing to run. There's grants right now for anyone who has, like, you feel like you're an essential worker for restaurants. There's grants for that. There's grants that if you are a consultant, if you have if you have less than 200 employees, there are grants for that, because what they don't want you to do is they don't want you to have to let these people go, and then these people have to eventually apply for unemployment. They want to keep the unemployment rate as low as possible. And right now it has skyrocketed. So they want you to be able to apply for these grants. So my first suggestion is contacting your local representatives within your city or the next city over if you live in a small town like I used to.
Right.
Or you want to be able to contact your Chamber of Commerce. They have plenty of programs right now that you may qualify for. You just need to be able to pick up the phone or do a quick Google research and see who your representative is and how they can assist you, because there is money out there. It's just that we don't know where to look. And we are solely depending on this PPP loan. If you're not able to apply for that loan, I definitely suggest you contacting your local representatives and finding out what grants they have available for you specifically.
Now, these particular loans, Laine, they're actually just to keep your payroll. Are they meant to help you because you can't actively do the business that you were doing before, or is it just to keep payroll?
So the loan is specifically for payroll, but you can also use it for rent, mortgage, interest, or utilities. But in order for you to qualify for it, you must have payroll. So for example, if you are a sole proprietor or you are an LLC and you pay yourself, you have to show proof that you are paying yourself, whether it is through a draw, whether it's through a transfer, or you are actually in a payroll system to show that a paycheck is coming to you. So even if you don't have any employees, but you consider yourself an employee, as long as you have proof of that, you should be able to qualify for the PPP loan.
Yeah. So I would think that if you just have an LLC, then, and you're in business, but you probably have to have a lot more than just having an LLC.
Yes.
If you're a sole proprietor, to be able to get any grants.
Yes. So as long as you have some sort of documentation of your business, of course, your EIN, and you have to show proof that you're making money in your business. So for people who started their business in February or March, you haven't made any money yet, I'm sorry, you may not qualify for this, but you can qualify for some startup business loans. I know there's plenty of corporations right now. There is Facebook that has a business loan right now. Google has, not a business loan, but a business grant. Google has business grants right now, especially if you're someone who is specializing in tech. Microsoft has business grants right now. Verizon does. Like a lot of these corporations that we're using every day that we see all the time are giving away money. They just don't have many people to give it away to because number one, they're not advertising it too much because if they do, everyone's going to run to it. So that's why you have to do your due diligence and research and see what corporations in your area, or if you're on the West Coast or East Coast, that's going to specialize for you so you can be able to take this money and use it properly for your business.
Wow, that is good information. That's really good information for those. Now, what about those right now that say they were working part-time individually? You may have a college student that was working part-time in the restaurant industry. And, I'm thinking of somebody in particular, and they're completely out of work and they apply for unemployment, but they don't qualify because they were part-time. What is that person supposed to do?
Right now, if they file their taxes, the best thing for them to do is to see if they qualify for the stimulus check. Because that stimulus check is basically the only thing right now is going to assist them. I hear that Congress is trying to pass another bill to where a lot of Americans will be able to get $2,000 a month until December. It is not certain that it's going to be passed, but a lot of people are pushing for it. What I don't like is that many people who are in circumstances that is unforeseen and they didn't have any control over, they don't qualify for certain benefits that they should qualify for. So at this moment, you have to be able to find something that's going to, get you out of that situation. There are a lot of work from home companies that are hiring because they see the need with virtual assistants. So there's a lot of companies right now that are hiring for work from home. So if you did lose your employment, you did lose your job, you don't qualify for unemployment, you want to be able to at least apply for the stimulus package. And that is for you to either file your 2018 or 2019 taxes. Now, if you didn't have to file taxes at all, you can go to the irs.gov website and you can file a non-filer's application to still qualify for the stimulus check.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That is good information. Woo! We could probably talk to you for hours, but that's what you do for a living. That's what your company actually does. Give us some little pointers, just, putting the pandemic aside, if we are, we're small business and maybe somebody's just getting started in a business. Maybe they're barely a year, just a little over a year. And somebody in business is not going to make a profit even after a year. You pour all your money back into your business. So they can't show any kind of profit, but this could actually ruin them completely and have to shut down because they were using any money that did come in. They were putting it back in their business. Now they don't have any money coming in, but yet they're not qualifying because they weren't profitable. So it's like a lose-lose, and it breaks my heart because I see people that, have been going at this for a year. I've talked to some of them, and the little bit of money that they have made from their business, they put back in their business. Now they're not even getting that, but they can't qualify for anything. What do those people do?
What I would suggest for them to do is to make a small pivot in their business. And what I mean by that is to look for something that can be profitable right now temporarily. I know a lot of companies that were in beauty. So a lot of companies that were either barbers, salon owners, nail salons, hair salons, and they're not able to open up their business right now. Everything is on a stand-halt. They're either doing some virtual consultations to assist their audience, or they are selling masks. Like masks are going crazy right now.
Right.
One of my actual good friends, she was telling me that, well, I don't know what I'm going to do in my business. I just literally started 3 months ago. I did not really make a profit yet. And right now, all of my clients, they're suffering just like me. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. I said, well, we need to be able to find a need right now because there is a need. People are still spending money. but you have to be able to find that need within your company and then come out with it. So she said,
Right.
you know what, I'm going to get some masks, some great masks, not cheap masks, but some great masks, and put my logo on it. And it went crazy. And she has already made $15,000 because people are still buying. You have to find a need within your company and run with it. Before right now, you're going to be stressed out. It's going to be discouraging. After you cry, it's time to think of solutions. Okay,
Right.
what is a solution right now that I can solve? What is a problem right now that I can solve for my community to where I can make at least something? It doesn't have to be so much, but at least something for you to pay your bills. And once you
Yeah.
find that solution, you need to run with it. You need to be creative with it, because this is what people need. People need to be positive right now. There's so much negativity going on that you don't need to add to it. Find something that is going to be able to, for you to be passionate about as well, but yet profitable. You don't have to break anyone's pockets, but it'll at least help you and that client that you're assisting as well.
Right. And okay, so I'm just sitting here thinking, why is Laine just, and I want to say just a financial or tax coach, because you should be an inspirational speaker.
Thank you.
Because
I
and I don't mean just, because let me tell you something. My mind is just boggled with when it comes to tax and money and balances. And here's the thing. I'm a true believer in, if you don't know how to do something, hand it to somebody else to help you. And so that's why every year I go to my CPA and say, okay, do you see this mess? Please handle it.
Exactly. And that's the same thing they do to me.
Handle my mess, because let me tell you something. You are praised for those of us that struggle every year on, because I find out that, oh, Sherry, you didn't do that as a tax write-off. You should have done it. And I'm just like hitting myself in the head going, I don't know these things. I don't know these things. This is what I rely on my CPA to tell me. But sometimes it's, what should we look for in someone doing our taxes?
Yes. So what you want to look for, number one, is for you to establish a great relationship, because right now you're having someone control your money coming in, money coming out. And that's very, very important. Someone who is educated and knows what they're talking about. Also someone who may specialize specifically for your industry. For example, I may have clients that come in and they're in the trucking industry. If I feel as though that is not my niche to be a part of, I want to stay in my lane, I'm going to send them to someone who is specifically knowing about trucking, which I have a whole network of. If you're in the beauty industry, and there's certain things within the beauty industry that I don't know everything about, and I know I won't be able to assist you, I'm going to send you to a tax strategist who specifically specializes with beauty. So you want that person to be educated. You want them to have a great relationship with you. And communication is a very big thing. If you don't know something, you need to speak up. Hey, I spent some money. I don't know if it's a write-off. I don't know if it's for business. I just need to know if this was the right thing to do. Right. Communicating with your tax strategist, your accountant, is very important, because we're not going to know everything. We need for you to talk to us. We need to be able to talk to you, and we need to be able to be on the same page, because the whole point of you having an accountant is to increase that cash flow. It's for you to make more money in your business, and it's for you to be, for you to think about and understand, and for you to only specialize in that. Think about that. Worry about the marketing, your clients, and then let's worry about the numbers on the backside, but also have that communication so you know what's going on within your business. You know your numbers, you know everything's okay, because you don't want to just give it off to someone and don't know anything. Because what if something happens? You still need to be able to know the basics. So education is very, very big with us. We want to be able to educate our clients if something that they don't know, like if they don't know what a financial statement is, why it's important. If someone wants to come in and invest in your business and you don't have this documentation together, you don't want to scramble around looking for it. You want to be able to be organized, and then you have an amazing meeting. Now you have an investor because you were organized on the back end. You had someone on your team that was taking care of it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And two, there's a lot of people that want to break into different avenues in their life to make money. I have an episode about 17 ways to make money online, and there's all kind of ways that you can, you can make money. But one of them that I have actually had a little more interest in, and my college son he definitely will do this, is real estate investment.
Yes.
And so you and I both love 10X. So just guys,
Yes.
so you know, my beauties, Laine and I are a member of 10X Ladies. It's like a mastermind right now that we do on Wednesday nights, led by Elena Cardone, which is a friend of mine. And we love it. And that's how we met. And I met some amazing women, and you're going to hear from several 10X ladies that we have selected to share their stories and what they do for a living to help you. You're going to hear them as the summer months go on. But I wanted to make sure that I had Laine on right now, because here's the time to take advantage, because it is tax season. And
Yes, it
I
is.
wanted her to be able to tell you guys what you need to do. So let's kind of shift a little bit into real estate investment. If someone is looking to invest in real estate, and let's just say they found a great deal, I don't know, maybe it's a foreclosure or something like that, and they want to buy that, but how would they get started? Would it be just something like you would do, that you would buy like an everyday house, or is there a different way to go about buying a house that is specifically for flipping to make money?
Yes. So you basically want to make a plan on what kind of investor you're going to be. So there is a wholesaler, there is a fix and flipper, there is long term, to where you may have multiple properties or a multifamily house, or there is the other one to where you are listing it online like an Airbnb. There are tax codes and laws for each one specifically.
I didn't
So
know that.
Yes. So a lot of people don't understand that the tax code was made for real estate investors, was made for entrepreneurs, but they made it to where you need to do the research and find out exactly what laws are specifically for you. So if you are a short-term type of investor, you buy the house, you fix it, you flip it, you sell it. And then you're another investor where you buy the house, you hold it long-term, you're renting it out. Those tax codes and laws differ between the two, because there's certain expenses for repairs and maintenance that one qualifies for that the other one may not qualify for long term. So the first thing I would suggest is finding out what kind of investor you want to be. A lot of people dip into different things to find out what they like, and that's okay. But you initially want to have a plan of what investor you want to be, and then you want to be able to start slowly networking and building your team, because as you start to put more money out, you need to be able to understand how you're going to calculate it. Because
well, I can tell you the kind of investor I want to be, the profitable one.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Tell us the most profitable way to be a real estate investor, and that's what we're going to do.
So the most profitable way right now, a lot of people are wholesaling. Because it's the easiest way right now. I wouldn't say easiest, but it requires less money. Requires less money. Of course, it's a lot of education, because you need to be able to talk on the phone, find the person that you want to be able to purchase their house from, and then be able to find a seller so they can be able to purchase that home. You are basically the liaison. You are the middleman. You're making the deals. That is right now, I would say, the most profitable right now, because you're not having to go out and get someone to do the construction and the maintenance. And, as soon as things start to clear up, you'll see a lot of fix and flips going around. You'll see a lot of Airbnbs. Right now, Airbnbs are not doing too well. They don't have anyone that's going to come in and be able to stay there. So it's not doing too well right now. And a lot of fix and flips are on a hold. And a lot of people are basically backing out of deals because of everything that's going on. So what you're seeing is a lot of wholesaling. Wholesaling is not dying. But of course, you want to be able to work your way up, because that is, to me, a beginner investor. A lot of people still do it, but that is the smartest way right now for you to make at least some profit.
Right. I love that, because let me tell you something. There is so much about tax laws and tax codes, and I have no idea. And we do rely on the person that you're saying, okay, this is my financial life right here. I need you to help me figure this out, because you think about it, at the end of that meeting with your CPA, you're either going to owe money or you're going to be getting money back. And very few of us get, especially those that are in business, do get any type of refund. But what we don't want is to owe.
Exactly. You don't want to owe.
My motto is, if I'm even, I'm good.
Exactly. That is the goal. The goal is to not
even
owe anything to the IRS. That is the goal.
Yes, I do not want to owe the IRS. But one thing that I did not realize, and I did this actually personally on a couple of my taxes several years ago, is after I filed taxes and I realized that there were things that I should have done that I didn't do, I actually refiled those same taxes.
Yes.
And I didn't even realize that I could do it until someone told me, or it was brought up in a conversation. This was several years ago. And now I'm more diligent, of course, what I'm looking for now that I do have an LLC. But back then, I didn't realize I could refile taxes. And there may be a lot of people like I was that don't realize that. So tell us a little bit about how far back can we go to redo our taxes?
So you can amend your taxes as far as at least up to 5 years.
Wow.
But the IRS, now, if you're owed a refund, you forfeit your refund after 3 years.
Okay.
So for anyone who has back taxes that they need to file for 2016, after 2000 or before 2016, if you had a refund, you forfeit it to the IRS. But if you have anything that's missing on your tax returns, like if you're missing a W-2, or if you're missing income from your business, or if you're missing any sort of deductions or credits that you didn't know you qualified for, but you actually do, you can go back and amend those taxes. All you have to do is either the person that did your taxes before can go back and add certain things to it. Of course, you need to mail it to the IRS, or you can go to a new accountant or tax strategist, give them all of the old information that you had on the old tax returns, as well as the new information, and they'll amend it for you, tell you what the difference is, whether it's worth it or not, because sometimes it's not worth it. If it's like a $20 difference, that's not really worth it. But if it is worth it, it's a big difference. Definitely amend those taxes, because a lot of people don't know. They put anything on there thinking like, okay, yeah, I'm good. But there's certain things that people qualified for that they didn't know that they qualified for, especially for business owners. There was a tax law that was passed in 2018, which is called the Qualified Business Deduction. And that is at least 20% of your income automatically deducted. A lot of people didn't know about that deduction because it just came out, and a lot of business owners did not have it on their taxes. I always ask a business owner, do you have your previous tax returns? If they say yes, I want to be able to analyze it and see if there's anything missing. And a lot of things that were missing from the 2018 taxes was the QBI deduction.
Okay.
Automatically, you get that deduction as a business owner. So if you made $100,000 in your business, automatically 20% is deducted with that deduction.
Wow. I know some people right now that are thinking, can I go back now? Because
yes, you can. Absolutely. If there is a deduction.
Why would your CPA not automatically deduct that?
Because the thing about CPAs, EAs, tax strategists, tax professionals is not just a specific one, but a lot of people do not stay up with the laws in education. These laws change constantly. Like we just had a CARES Act. That is going to be a part of a new tax law for next year. If you are a CPA, if you are EA, if you are a tax professional, period, you need to stay up on these laws. Things are constantly changing. We're going from one administration to another. They're going to change certain things from before. I tell people to look at each administration. And I'm not trying to get into politics, but with the Obama administration, you saw that it was a lot of credits and deductions for middle-class Americans.
Right.
We go into the Trump administration, there's a lot of taxes and deductions and credits for business owners. It's always going to change. So before Trump got into office, that QBI deduction was not there. Once he got in, changed a couple of things, he said, you know what, business owners should get 20% deduction. A lot of people didn't know that. So if you don't stay up with the laws, if you don't stay up with the IRS, because the IRS is constantly going to be sending you information of things that change, you need to read up on it. Like for me, I feel like I'm always a student. I'm always trying to learn something new.
Me too.
Even if it doesn't work for me, it could work for somebody else. And that's why I'm letting my community know, hey, did you guys know about the QBI deduction? They're like, what's that? I'm like, what? You didn't know what that is? I qualified for it last year. Why didn't you qualify for it last year? And it's because they didn't know. So it's not their fault. And that's why.
So is it for any business owner? I mean, if you are, it doesn't matter. If you, any business owner.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. See, that's serious business there, Laine.
It's automatically on your Schedule C. When you're filing your taxes and you're using your Schedule C as a business owner, you need to check the QBI deduction. automatically gives you
So
20%.
we can do that. We can do that for 2019 then if we have
Yes.
not already. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That makes perfect sense. Well, that's good information. I know that you're full of good information. Let me tell you something. I want you to tell me a little bit though. I know that you went through some adversity. You had a miscarriage and you came out strong because I'm listening to you right now and you're tough. I mean, I can tell that you can make it. So tell us a little bit about the adversity that you went through and how you gained that inner strength to overcome.
Yeah, so I've been through a lot of different things, and I've always been able to get back up and say, you know what, this is just another thing that I'm going through. Is this a test? Everything is not going to be always good. You have to go through things to learn from them.
Right.
So when I got pregnant, I already have 3 children. So I'm like, oh, I'm a veteran. I have 3 children. This is nothing.
I got
I'm going to
this.
go through this. Yeah, easy peasy. And for some reason, I felt like something was wrong with this pregnancy. I was excited, but I didn't feel like, everything was going to go okay, but I was just still hopeful.
Mm.
So when the doctors told us that there was no heartbeat, that's not something that I ever thought I would ever go through. But I
Mm.
said, you know what? This is just something else that I got to go through. It's going to be okay. It's not going to, I'm not going to be too upset about it. I'm going to cry. A week later, I'm going to be okay. A week later, I was not okay. And I
No.
said, wow, this is really happening because I was already a mother and I didn't think that something like that would happen to me. I've heard about it. I've read about it. I've talked to many women who went through it, but I never thought that I would go through it. And I see what they went through because that depression is real. I completely walked away from my business. My fiance, he took it over. He made sure everything was okay, but my head was not in it. I said,
Right.
you know what? This is not going to work for me right now. I was constantly angry at myself because I thought maybe I did something wrong as a woman. Maybe something was wrong with me. And constantly my doctor was telling me, nothing you did. It was nothing you did. It's just, it happens. There's no answer. It just happened. And she said, when you're ready, you can try again. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be disappointed again like that. Because when it's a child, especially if you're a mother, it hurts. It hurts extremely. And
Yeah.
one day I woke up and I said, there's a lot of women that are going through the same thing as me. And am I actually going to sit here and just let this go through me and let this crush me? Or am I going to be able to get back up again? Because I've been through worse. So maybe I could get back up and start little by little. So little by little, I reached out to one person who went through it. And I said, so how did you get over this? And she said, well, I try to surround myself around positive things that didn't make me think so much about it, but I saw hope. And now a year later, she has twins. And I'm like, okay, if she can go through that and she
Right.
can have something amazing at the end, then, I can have the same thing. I just have to be hopeful. So that's what I did. I decided to work with more women, establish more relationships, and, just get my head out of that negative aspect because I know that it was way more for me. So as soon as I did that, I became more confident in myself as a woman, and I felt like I could be a better mother. I already have 3 children. I need to cherish the ones that I have and show them more love and show them like, hey, mommy went through something really hard right now. And, I tried to explain to them like, we can try again later.
Right.
I'm still going to be here. I'm grateful for you guys being here. And I'm going to try to be the best mother. So now it just made me want to be better than before. So it was a lesson. And at the same time, it was a gift because it made me want to go harder. Like absolutely
Yes.
go harder. As a woman, go harder.
I know. And it's true because I love the fact that it's not something that you just, even though you were reaching out to someone and you said, how do I get over this? You don't ever get over it. You know, one thing that I talk about from the stage being a mother that has had to bury a 17-year-old child is we don't ever get over, but what we do is we grow. And I am growing every single day. This year, July 12th will be 13 years that I lost my son. And sometimes it seems like 3 months. Sometimes it seems like 3 years. It never seems like 13 years, because it's always very close to home. I keep pictures around him in my office and it doesn't sadden me. Although sometimes I do get upset. We call them my Bryant days because mommy has Bryant days, but it does give me strength. So it
Yes.
does give me strength to be a stronger person and
Yes.
be there for other women, because I'm not any good for anyone else if I'm just, crying a puddle of tears. I'm only
Yeah,
good for
absolutely.
someone else if I can help them grow through their tragedies,
Yeah.
just like I had to grow and I continue to go through mine. So I applaud you, because you are definitely, definitely a powerhouse of strength. you,
Thank
you
you.
definitely are. Laine, I want you to tell everybody where we can find you, because do you just help those that are local in your area, or is there a way that we can reach out no matter where we are to you?
Yes, the power of technology allows us to be a full virtual financial firm.
Nice.
Yes. So we have clients in California, we have clients in Texas, we have clients back home in my hometown, New Jersey. We have clients in New York as well as Chicago. We don't stop. The power of technology is amazing. I love the power of social media. So people always think, I'm not in Raleigh, North Carolina. How can I work with you? You can still work with me. You don't have to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. Things are changing. You don't have to be local anymore to help people. So yes, you can definitely find me on Instagram at Laine B CEO. Definitely reach out to me. Say hi. You need some help. You need tips. Even if I can't assist you, I will always point you in the right direction.
That's excellent. And where can we find you online? Where can we find your business online?
Yes, it is www.raimentfinancial.com. That is VRAIMENT financial.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Laine. I appreciate you. You have this just been a huge, huge bucket of knowledge for us today. Big golden nuggets. I always say that I get golden nuggets from all the women, but you're a big golden nugget, because when you're talking about somebody's money, boy, you've got our attention.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That
Thank you so
definitely,
much.
definitely with mine, because I happen to like to spend my money. And in order to spend my money, I have to have it.
Exactly. You're right about that.
And I have to earn it, or I won't have any to spend. And look, I got a kid in college right now. So Lord knows I need every dime that I can
Ooh,
have,
yes,
you know?
every penny counts. Every penny counts. You're right
Thank you
about that.
so much. I do. I appreciate you so, so much. I really, really do.
Thank you. I thank you for having me on. It's such an honor. It's an amazing podcast. I love it. I can't wait to see where it goes because it's going to go global.
Absolutely. Thank you so, so much. And guys, I appreciate you joining me today. Don't forget to jump over and leave me a review. I so, so appreciate it. And you can follow Laine and I as well on Instagram. My daily dose of encouragement, ladies, is just to step out of your comfort zone. Try something new, reboot, regroup, reinvent yourself if you're stuck. You can go to my website, subscribe, and you won't miss any updates or tips. And I give you tips and tricks to help you get unstuck if you need them. I have a lot of freebies on there as well. And until next week, stay healthy, make yourself happy, and above all, keep your faith in the one that matters, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'll be praying for you. God bless.